Okay, sorry about the traffic noise. First video in a while. I'm actually out in the camper. Ignore the mess. We're trying to do a little bit of remodeling here. Haven't even cleaned the place up since deer season. But have to have the doors and window open. Don't have the electric, so no AC in here, so we just opened up the place. So hopefully the traffic noise won't get too bad. Also, hopefully we're not going to get a little too much camera shake here. I'm redoing my floors in here. Tripod sitting on that. The cell phone is just rubber banded to the tripod, so hopefully it's not too terrible. Again, I've done this video twice already. Better quality the last two times, but BoobTube keeps taking down all of our vids, so I had a request to redo this one. So here we go with speed loaders. Basically what you're limited to, which type is which, how they function, and which is best. You get to determine which is best for you. So basically, you're going to have two types, two brands, which is also two types, as they're each different, of speed loaders. It's going to be HKS or your Safariland. I was able to get an original Safariland. I borrowed it off of my uncle. This thing has not been off the gun, but I think once. I borrowed it once, I think. But it's been attached to the holster since 1983. So basically, this is the original HKS. Which is not even marked HKS. 6-second reloader, fail safe, patent pending, and 10B was a specific size for K-frame Smith & Wessons. As you can see, I cleaned it up a little bit before I tried to start this. Again, it hasn't been off the holster since '83. Plastic was a little white, so I oiled it down because his knob was sticky. But here on the old styles, as you see the knob on it, it's a push down type knob. I'm also having to reach around the tripod. It's supposed to pop back up. I oiled it, cleaned it. But and back to the case here to show this is a original HKS 6-second reload HKS Tool Product Corporation, 132 5th Street, Dayton, Kentucky. So this is an HKS, but they didn't label them as HKS. As you can see on the new ones, they plainly say HKS. But in the older models, as these were primarily designed for law enforcement, also hunters, but back in the day before Velcro, we had leather and snaps. So before we get into how the knob works and all that, again, I had to source these 38 wad cutters. Was all I had to put in here. When I borrowed off of him, he took his regular loads out. But as you can see, this pushy down knob, now again, these are 38 wad cutters and not 357s, as this is designed for 38 or 357. When we put it in the case, our knob is basically right at touching the top of the case. Now, if we were using 38s with normal profile bullets, then that would set up higher in the case. That would allow the knob to push down. If we were using 357s, it would be even more. So what this knob push down was designed for is when it sets in the case to accommodate for different length bullets. So basically, to load, simply take your speed loader. I'm having to look out from behind the camera to do this because I can't see through my screen. You simply put your 6 rounds in, twist the knob to the left, and that's also where this track runs in. Even though this knob pushes down, doesn't matter where the knob's at, when you push it, it automatically comes up and locks into the trip position. So turn the knob, they're held secure. Put it in the gun, slight twist on the knob, everything falls right out into the cylinder. Pretty simple, no muss, no fuss. The new model HKS's, it's just a solid knob. So as you can see, new model, old model. Before I get into the tripping on those, on your new model HKS's, they make 2 types. Is a type A and a type M. And if my camera will focus here. Now this doesn't say type N on this. This says 29. That's for a Smith & Wesson 29, 629, 529, whatever. But as for the large frame 44s, the difference in a type A and a type M, even though I do not have a type A because they do not make type A's in the large calibers. And this is the, again, the old one, but as you'll see, there's just a little bit of jiggle in here. But on my type M, there's a lot of jiggle. They ain't going to fall out by any means. I've dropped this 12 foot, just doing drop tests to see if they would come out. Repeatedly dropped it 12 foot. Your rounds aren't going to come out. But that's the difference, is this jiggle, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But the type A has no jiggle. So if you're ever wondering on HKS what the difference is in a type A and type M, it's the same speed loader, it's just the type M jiggles, type A holds all the rounds solid. Kind of like my Safariland here. As you see, there is 0. Kind of hard to show on the camera here, but you know, 0 jiggle to the rounds. So that's the difference in type A and type M HKS. Okay, which is better, HKS or Safariland? Well, HKS, and again I have to get my head out from behind everything. Drop it in, and that little bit of jiggle on your larger rounds, it just allows the rounds to go into the chamber. Also, most of your Magnum guns, as you can see, cut for speed loader. Your Magnum guns grips are going to be different profiles, different sizes. This one, as you can possibly see here, that speed loader actually stops against the grip. So that's another reason for the jiggle in the M types. Simply turn the knob, they all drop in. No muss, no fuss. Safariland is a push type. So to answer the question before I get into Safarilands, what do you carry since that's your daily carry? Generally, this is my general EDC pistol. I carry it most of the time. I have gone to carry the 1911 more often. Debate for another story. And sorry, I'm taking pauses to chug root beer. It's hot in here. But the ease of loading and unloading with the HKS's, if I'm hunting, a lot of times, well, for one thing, these tend to get legs and walk off. This is my last one out of 3 that I had. So Cousin Joe got one, and I think Sheila got my other one. But, you know, anyhow, I've got one. So when I'm hunting, I do carry my safari lens. Generally, when I'm hunting, I carry 3 different loads. So I'll have 6 in the gun, and plus I'll also have, say, 6 hard cast, and then another one of 6 hard cast flat nose for different purposes. Long story short, I generally carry this empty in my pocket when I'm hunting. Reason is, if I'm hunting, I've got 12 rounds of speed loaders, I've got 6 in the gun, so I've got 18 rounds. Generally, I don't need 18 rounds to hunt with. However, if I want to go from game to game, and again, apologize, root beer's giving me hiccups, but say I want to, in the field, change out loads. To make it easy, and this is another thing about the HKSs, and if I can get this on camera with my head behind the camera, I take an empty HKS. I can do it better when I'm not trying to do this, and reload a different. So let me dump my HKS. I hope these are all the same. And again, simply dump it out into that. That way I'm not fumbling with all these loose rounds. They go back in a speed loader. I can load something else in the speed loader, and I'm good to go. So that's the reason I carry an empty safari land in my pocket while I'm hunting. Ease of ammo change. Okay, as well, see how the HKS works. Pretty simple, no muss, no fuss. Turn the knob, everything comes out. Simply put them back in. Turn the knob, back in the pouch. Safari lands are a little bit different, and we'll get into the Comp 1s, Comp 2s, and Comp 3s in a minute if I don't run out of camera time here, and also if I don't knock my camera over trying to do this. So to load the safari land, you have to put your rounds in, same way, but this is where it gets a little tricky. To lock them in, instead of simply turning the knob doesn't turn. You have to hold all the rounds in, turn it upside down, put it on the table, push down on the center knob, and turn it to lock it. And you cannot turn the knob to unlock it. This is a push type speed loader. So we'll get into defensive carry. When I'm carrying defensive, I carry 3 different loads with this pistol. I generally carry, if it's defense loads, I will carry a 180 grain, a lighter bullet, loaded in 44 specials, because I don't need a 44 Magnum for a defense load, and the 44 special is going to do anything I generally need it to. If my first 6 rounds of 44 special doesn't help, then I got another 6 rounds immediately available of 240 grain full house 44 mag. If that don't work, that's where my second speed loader comes in. If I can't get it done in 18 rounds, well, I've got a 50 round box. It's always in the vehicle, where it's the boat, the car, the truck, whatever. There's at least 50 rounds. Generally there's usually 300 rounds, but I've got extra 44s in a box, somewhat handily available. So no, I shouldn't need over 18 rounds. I carry 2 speed loaders, 6 in the gun, and I'm good. So to get into how the safari lands work and the push types, same principle. However, as you'll see, these have no jiggle, but they still fit. Shooting wad cutters, that kind of stuff, the jiggle really helps, but this isn't something I'm going to use for target competition. I'll generally go with HKS. but very rapid. When you drop it in, there's no knob to turn. When I pick these out my pouch, I come off the belt, I've got them here. My hand is on the solid meaty portion. As they go in the gun, you simply push and release. That's the reason you have to load those the way they are. That's why I carry an empty one of these. Back to that. And that way I'm not fumbling with loose rounds. You can't dump them out of the cylinder into this and set the knob, so it's kind of a moot point. So again, reason for carrying an HKS. If I have all 3 HKSs when I'm hunting, I carry all 3 HKSs. Again, this is what I'm stuck with for the time being. By the way, donations are accepted. Anybody wants to send me some 44 mag speed loaders, you're more than welcome to. So again, to get into the loading. Another nice thing about speed loaders is you don't drop your stuff all over the place when you're and this little bitty knob does make it a little bit aggravating, especially when they're new. Mine are well used and worn in, but again, you have to push down on the knob. Unfortunately, I can't change my camera angle here, but you simply push down on the knob and rotate it till it locks. So how do you unload this without a gun, you ask? Okay. Sorry for the lighting. Well, let me show you on this empty one. This little star here is open, and this is the way the knob turns. But when you lock it, these are actually pressing against the case, but what locks it is this ring right here, which rotates into the rim groove. So there's your lock. So it's this back piece that holds it. This front star will not turn when there's a case in it. So that's actually what sets your spring pressure to set the spring that holds all this together. So to unload, pencil, pen, something like that, you push in, and that trips the set. Just the same way as you're pushing into the gun. This front star here, as you're pushing in, this hits the cylinder, you push against the body, that's what trips and releases it. So to unload it, take your pencil, pen, stick, whatever you have, stick in there, push against the star, and that releases your rounds. If you want to change out different types of ammo. A little more complicated than the twist knob, but again, defense loads, these are quicker. How much quicker? Half a second maybe. In a combat situation, defense situation, whatever, you're simply pushing and dropping instead of setting it in and having to worry about turning a knob. It's just push and release. Okay, if I don't run out of tape here. This is the Safariland Comp 1, and you can see just how small, again, sorry for the lighting, that little knob is right there that you have to twist and turn. You're going to grab it, hold it by the body, push it in. You're not going to hold it like that and try to push it. So the Comp 2 and Comp 3 Safarilands, what they've done is they have made this little knob bigger. On a Comp 2, it's more about like this size. And that's where, when you break it out of a pouch, well, I'll use this pouch for example. And the difference in a duty pouch and a comp pouch: duty pouch doesn't have a flap, they just set in there. The body is obscured, so you grab it by the knob, put it in the gun, and turn it. Everything's done by the knob. Now everything is clips. Safariland makes a simple metal belt clip. The belt clip clips on your belt, speed loader clips into the clip. So the reason they have done a larger knob on the Safariland type is not because you're going to turn it, it's so you can grab it and break it out of your, whether it's a holder or whether a clip, it's just a larger access point to grab to. And again, the Comp 2s have a knob roughly about the size of this. The Comp 3s have a knob about like this. The main way we do those is we'll actually palm it. When it comes off the clip or comes off the belt, I might try to illustrate here, but hopefully you can get the imagination of it. It's going to come up into your palm here. So what you actually do is when you get the clip, you simply grab the clip like this, because it's a push release. Insert it into the gun, push forward with your palm, and let go, and it falls clean. So that's for competition shooting. It's just something that gives you a little more purchase on the speed loader. You're not actually holding the body, but you simply come down, pick up your new loader, put it in, push, and drop. So that's the difference in Comp 1, Comp 2, and Comp 3 Safarilands. The only difference is just the knob size and how you handle them. But I love them as Safarilands. Great for my defense loads. Work great for hunting. I've never had to reload a 6-shooter on large game, but if I had to, Safariland works perfectly fine. These is just a easy way of carrying different types of ammo. So that way, if I want to change out ammo, I'm not carrying loose rounds in my pocket, bag, vest, whatever, and I can switch out ammo with ease. So hopefully this has been a not too awful video. Yeah, and I'll try to remake it in better quality and actually go through and condense it maybe. But let me know what you think about it, any improvements I can make. If you have any questions about the types or anything that I didn't cover, put that down in the comments. We do have a lot more videos on the Patreon account. I will attempt to link the Patreon to this video in the description, hopefully. And any other questions or comments, just let me know.